The unfolding divorce drama between Kandi and Todd has quickly evolved into one of the most dissected and speculated celebrity breakups, largely due to the explosive rumors circulating through insiders and social media. The claim that Todd may be planning to seek full custody as a strategic attempt to bypass the ironclad prenup that has long protected Kandi's financial empire. The original script paints a vivid, messy picture of a couple whose marriage has been quietly deteriorating behind the scenes for years, even though public appearances often suggested unity. What makes the situation more dramatic is the suggestion that Todd, knowing he cannot easily claim financial assets from Kandi due to the prenup, might be preparing to build a case that positions him as a more present parent, opening the door to child support, which legally sits outside the reach of prenup obligations. Insiders quoted in the original script repeatedly emphasize how Kandi's financial intelligence shaped the marriage from the beginning. Before marrying Todd, she ensured that every business expansion, production partnership, and investment was properly structured. The mention of creative accounting in the script refers to how production expenses tied to Todd's ideas, many of which never really made money, according to insiders, were logged in ways that protected her assets. Though Kandi supported Todd's ventures out of love, loyalty, and belief in his creativity, the financial disparity between their careers remained significant. This imbalance may have fed into the simmering insecurities the script highlights, especially as it recounts Todd's live stream moments where he jokingly, yet pointedly, implied that a wealthy woman should let a man control the money. His remarks comparing Kandi to Rihanna, suggesting he deserved an allowance, and mocking hypothetical scenarios involving her friends became symbolic of deeper emotional rifts. The script further intensifies the drama with the Thanksgiving incident. According to the narrative, all of Todd's children, Kayla, Blaze, and Ace, were present in the family photo, yet Todd was mysteriously absent. This absence raised questions. Why would a father leave Thanksgiving early when the entire family was present? Where did he go? Was he avoiding someone, avoiding conflict, or curating a separate image elsewhere? The script emphasizes that even though Kandi publicly claimed the holiday was cordial, insiders insist she attended only because she didn't want to give Todd any room to argue that she neglected family responsibilities. Her appearance was not a gesture of closeness, it was a legal precaution. Meanwhile, Todd's social media posts have taken a dramatic shift. For weeks, he has highlighted fatherhood pictures with the kids, captions about family time, and imagery showing him as hands-on and nurturing. People close to Kandi believe this is no coincidence, but a calculated social media strategy. Every post is a subtle argument. I am the parent who is here. I am the stable one. I am the one raising these kids. His complete omission of Kandi from his content further feeds speculation that he is building a visual record supporting a custody claim. This aligns with the script's insiders who suggest Todd knows he cannot challenge the prenup directly. Thus, custody becomes his potential leverage point. But behind the legal positioning, there is an emotional deterioration. The script digs into the psychological undercurrents, implying that Todd may have struggled with feeling overshadowed by Kandi, whose wealth, fame, and work ethic continued rising throughout their relationship, even if they had unconventional boundaries in their marriage. Insiders believe Todd may have stepped out without Kandi, crossing lines that broke trust. This aligns with classic patterns described in the script. When men feel outpaced by their partner's success, they may resort to emotional control, belittling, or behaviors that undermine the woman's confidence. The reenacted livestream clip becomes a key example of this, showing Todd negging her, teasing in ways meant to subtly insult, minimize, and erode her self-esteem. The script also brings up Mama Joyce, who for years warned that Todd was not on Kandi's level. Though often criticized for being harsh or overly suspicious, her concerns now appear prophetic. The insiders quoted in the script say it plainly. She called it. And as the divorce becomes public, it turns out that Mama Joyce's instincts may have been sharper than the audience gave her credit for. The question of custody remains a core source of escalating tension. Insiders strongly believe Todd is preparing for a full custody push, not necessarily because he believes he is a better parent, but because full custody opens the door to significant financial support. Meanwhile, Kandi is described as someone who would go to war for her children. Even though she loves money, her children come first. If Todd attempts to take them away or weaponize custody as financial leverage, she will fight relentlessly. Insiders say she would even offer him a larger payout just to secure equal custody, rather than lose time with her kids. The script closes with a powerful warning: if Todd goes low, Kandi will take it to hell. This means Kandi's silence is strategic, not weakness. She has the resources, receipts, legal support, and emotional strength to dismantle Todd's narrative entirely if provoked. For now, both sides are maintaining public calm. But the tension is not peaceful, it is controlled, calculated, and waiting to erupt. As the divorce between Kandi and Todd deepens, the emotional landscape grows more complicated, revealing years of tension that were never fully resolved. The original script outlines a pattern of imbalance in the marriage financially, emotionally, and publicly. While Kandi is portrayed as a loyal and supportive partner, insiders emphasize that loyalty should not be mistaken for blindness. She financed Todd's projects, defended him on reality TV, and continuously uplifted him despite the constant chatter from fans and her mother, Mama Joyce, who repeatedly warned that Todd might someday reveal motives no one wanted to believe. The insiders quoted in the script say that Mama Joyce called it, and as events unfold, her concerns appear less exaggerated and more intuitive. The script suggests that Todd's behavior shifted noticeably in the months leading up to the divorce filing. His live stream reenacted in the original script exposed more than just humor. It displayed a man grappling with insecurity, ego, and a desire for control. His remarks were cloaked in jokes, but the subtext was unmistakable. He questioned whether Kandi was past her prime, compared her fame unfavorably to Rihanna, joked about sleeping with her friends, and repeatedly suggested that a man should control the money. He even claimed he deserved a monthly allowance for bringing her water and listening. These were not random statements, they reflected internal resentment and power struggle. According to the script, Kandi filed for divorce not long after that live stream, which raises questions about how deep those emotional injuries ran. The insiders tied to the original script hint at an even more serious shift. Todd may have violated the boundaries of their marriage, stepping outside agreements they had in place. Though the script avoids confirming infidelity directly, it strongly implies that something happened, something Kandi could not tolerate. They mention that this behavior often stems from men feeling overshadowed by a more successful woman. They act out to humble her, whether through cheating, neglect, or emotional manipulation. The purpose is the same, to destabilize the woman emotionally. This matches Todd's tone on livestream, where he downplayed Kandi's achievements while subtly elevating himself. Another layer of tension comes from the insiders, describing how Todd might be trying to reshape public perception of their family dynamic. As highlighted in the script, Todd has filled his social media with posts centered heavily around the children. While noticeably excluding Kandi for weeks, he documents father-child activities, appears in photos that present him as a stable anchor, and highlights himself as hands-on and nurturing. Sources believe this is not innocent, it is part of a custody-centered strategy. If Todd can portray himself as a primary parent while painting Kandi as career-focused and frequently traveling, it strengthens his argument for full or majority custody. This is where the script becomes more intense. It explains that child support is separate from prenup restrictions. So, while Todd cannot claim Kandi's wealth through divorce itself, he can legally pursue financial benefits through custody. Insiders inside the script suggest that Todd knows this, and his carefully curated social media presence reflects a strategy designed to document a custody narrative long before legal filings occur. At the same time, Kandi is described as someone who prioritizes peace but not cowardice. She doesn't expose drama unnecessarily. She doesn't respond to provocation unless she must. But insiders state very clearly, if Todd escalates the situation, if he uses custody as a weapon, then Kandi will respond at full force. The exact wording in the script was powerful: if Todd goes low, Kandi will take it to hell. This implies she has evidence, documentation, and receipts she has kept tucked away, not out of fear but out of integrity. Unlike Todd, whose strategy appears public and performative, Kandi's strategy appears controlled and private. The script also highlights a key detail: their date of separation, reportedly listed as July 2025. This means that Todd has been operating as a separated man for months while still shaping his online persona as an involved father. Insiders suggest that during this period, Todd was all over Atlanta dating, though no photos have emerged yet. Whether true or exaggerated, the claim adds weight to the idea that Todd's father-centric social media posts may be less about love and more about positioning. The emotional weight of the script lies in the contrast between Kandi's quiet strength and Todd's public repositioning. Kandi's circle insists she will never allow herself to be emotionally exploited, financially extorted, or manipulated into submission, especially when it comes to her children. She may love her businesses, her projects, and her finances, but her children are her heart. If Todd moves toward full custody, insiders believe that Kandi will spare no expense, legal or financial, to prevent him from winning. She would rather lose millions in court than lose time with her kids. The script concludes with the idea that there is no reconciliation on the table. This is not a Drew and Ralph style back and forth situation. According to insiders, once Kandi truly moves on, she moves forward, not backward. The marriage is over emotionally, financially, spiritually, and legally. What remains now is a battlefield of planning, strategy, and subtle plays from both sides. Todd may be preparing to push a custody narrative, but Kandi is prepared to counter at a level he may not anticipate. The original script also touches on how Todd's alleged scheme, as some insiders call it, has become increasingly transparent. He went from being a husband with ambitions to a man seen crafting a public storyline, centered around fatherhood at the exact moment a prenup becomes relevant. The timing alone is suspicious. And even worse for him, the insiders believe Kandi already knows the entire strategy. She sees the posts. She sees the omissions. She sees a narrative forming. But she is choosing not to interfere yet. There is also a psychological shift occurring between them. In the script, Todd is framed as someone who may have wanted to do something that Kandi couldn't control, suggesting that stepping out or violating boundaries was his way of reclaiming masculinity. Meanwhile, Kandi, who has spent years uplifting him, has realized she cannot protect someone who is actively working against her Todd in the end. Part 2 reveals a divorce that is no longer about heartbreak. It is about strategy, ego, reputation, custody, and financial desperation. Todd seems to be constructing a public identity to support a legal fight, while Kandi is holding her fire until absolutely necessary. When the battle begins in full, insiders believe it will be explosive because one partner is fighting for money, and the other is fighting for her children and her dignity.